let's try to get into the real-world impacts of all of this, because Gavin Edwards is UNISON's head of social care. Gavin, very good to have you on the show. Now, the Federation of Small Businesses was making, I thought, a fairly good point there, that for very small businesses, this pushes a huge amount of stress on people, and they should be treated differently from big businesses who have their HR departments and can well shoulder this kind of new regulatory burden.
Yeah, I disagree with that point of view. I think when people are happy and secure in their work, they're more productive. I also think that the insecurity that a lot of people deal with things like 0 hours contracts, not able to get flexible working, I think that undermines the conditions for growth which small businesses rely on. And also, that, one of the points that was made there is that people are economically inactive as well. Well, one of the major reasons that people are economically inactive is because they can't get the flexible working that they need, and also that they often can't get people to care for the people, their loved ones in their families. And that's another thing that's in today's bill is the Fair Pay Agreement for social care. So taken as a suite of measures, I think this is a pro-growth a set of measures. We heard many of these same arguments made before the introduction of the national minimum wage, people saying the sky was going to fall in, that there would be mass unemployment. None of these things came to pass. What we got was a pay boost for the lowest paid people in the workforce. And I'm confident that this suite of measures will also help the economy and help businesses grow, as well as helping people in work.
But in a sense, the government is calling businesses bluff on this. They're saying, you're going to carry on hiring, you're going to carry on growing. They better be right.
Yes, but I think that there's a very strong case that they are right. If you look, many of these rights that have been introduced today, they're enjoyed by people living in other European countries, and their economies grow perfectly well. I think what you said at the start of your introduction is probably right, Andrew. A lot of this depends on your view of human nature and how you think people will behave under these conditions. And I think the evidence suggests that actually when you give people, say, secure hours at work, they respond well. They're more likely to stay with that employer. One of the biggest costs that employers have, apart from paying people, is recruitment and retention, keeping people. And I think if people are secure in their work, they know how many hours they can get the flexible working that they want, they're more likely to stay with that employer. So there's a lot of costs that will come down for employers, as well as some that may come up because they need to invest in their workforce.
Well, that's an interesting point of view. Gavin, I know that you focus on the care sector in particular, where there are special employment problems. Just talk to us about how these measures are going to change the lives of the people who are your members in the care sector.
Yeah, so there's a provision in the bill today for the creation of an adult social care negotiating body. And what that will do is provide a place for trade unions and employers in the care sector to come together under the sponsorship of the government to agree a fair pay agreement for social care. That's something that we have campaigned for a very long time, because we need a national intervention in social care, people doing very difficult, skilled job and yet are paid either at the minimum or sometimes even below the minimum. That's created a staffing crisis in social care, which means that people can't get the care that they need. So creating this body as part of this bill today is a significant step forward. Obviously, there's a lot of hard work to be done, and UNISON is ready to engage with that piece of work.
All right, Gavin, thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight.